Hi folks, welcome back to Rocky's Highway Lab, a Techno Hub channel for placement training. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about organization setup, company profile, physical year, business hours, holidays, language settings, domain management, Salesforce technical term, types of applications, and Salesforce technical terms. Right? So we are going to discuss about all these things. So, the first thing is that we are going to discuss about the organization setup. So, the organization, the moment you create the login, right? So then it takes you to the org, right, which is nothing but a production environment, right? So here, the objective of organization setup is nothing but it is going to describe about the components of the company profile, which contains the physical year, business hours, currency management, default settings, and other company information. We are going to maintain the company information. The moment you purchase your Salesforce license, you have to set your company, right? We are going to set up a company by registering your physical year, that is nothing but your financial year, your business hours, your currency management, and other default settings. Let me go into one by one deeply. So when it comes to organization profile, organization setup, right, the company profile is very first step in setting up your Salesforce organization. So it consists of different configuration which is shown below, right? So it has something called the company information. The company information, you're going to specify the name and address, primary contact, default locally, and then you're going to discuss about default currency, storage use, and what are the licenses available. Followed with, so we are going to set your financial information, financial year, right? You're going to plan for the financial year and the currency, and then support information. Support information, what time is your business hours available, and when are the holidays? When within this year, how many holidays are there? When all days are going to be holidays? In the holidays of which hour you're going to do your business? All this you're going to set up here, right? For to getting into the company profile, what do? You go to the setup, right? So on the top of our org, on the production environment, top of the org, we have a gear icon. You have to click on the gear icon. It will take you to the setup. Or by default, it will be the page will be available on the setup page. On the left hand side top, you can see setup button will be available there. Next to setup, you'll have home, right? And then you can click on setup. Under this, you have a menu. Then you go to settings. Under setting, you can select company setting. Under company setting, you can go for company information. Then you can go and edit it, right? Or else, what else we can do? On the top, you can see setup. Under setup, you have a quick find box. On the quick find box, you're going to enter company information. So, you moment you enter company information on the right hand side, you get a page like this. You get a page like this. On this page, you have a button called edit button. You click on edit button, and then you're going to edit all your informations, right? So what are the information you're going to edit? You're going to edit the name, address, default local, which is nothing but the time zone, local time zone, and default currency. By default, it will be in US currency. In case you want to change it to Indian currency, you can able to change it and allow support to active multiple currency. Then you can see the Salesforce organization ID. As I've already have discussed, what is Salesforce organization ID, which is going to be 15-digit unique ID, right? So it is going to be unique to every Salesforce organization. And followed with, you're going to have licensing and their usage. Say, for example, we are going to use Salesforce license. So for us, they have given only 2 licenses. How many licenses you have used and what are the remaining licenses available? That we're going to see, that all those details we're going to discuss. And usage of data space and file space. Data storage is increased by adding records, right? Like we're going to add standard records and custom records, and file storage is increased by adding the file attachment, right? And API request usage, the limit depends on which edition of Salesforce you are using and how many user license you have. All those information we are going to discuss. And editing edition supporting API, whether it's going to be unlimited, enterprises, or developer edition, or performance edition. The Salesforce API allows program external to Salesforce to interact with the Salesforce data, right? So all these information you're going to specify here. See, now we go into the company profile page. There we're going to enter the company name, right? General information, and the address you're going to specify, and you're going to give the local timing details and data usage, data space, right? And now you can by default you can see it is already set, right? And the file space, what is the file space? API request, right? And then you're going to see the organization ID. See the organization ID, as I told you, organization ID will start with OOD, right? So here also you can see the organization ID starts with OOD, right? So for this company, right, for this company, for this organization, what is the organization ID? The organization ID goes like this: OOD 58000000 OXPA. So it is going to be 00D58000000 OXPA. That is my organization ID, right? Organization edition. What kind of edition we are going to use? Already I told you some developer edition, enterprise edition, unlimited edition. I told you different editions in the earlier tutorial. But here, what kind of edition we are going to use? We are using developer edition. Got it? So all these information we are going to set in the company profile. So these things we are going to do. Apart from that, right, I told you about the license also. What kind of license we use? Now see here, now we have different types of license, out of which, right, all are inactive. What are the total license available? How much we use? What is the remaining? All those details have been specified here, right? Now see the Salesforce license here. The Salesforce license is active now. Total number of licenses is 2. Use license here I have used already 2. Whereas coming to platform license, again it will be active. Total number of licenses is 3. I have not used anything. The remaining thing is only remaining again 3 is available. Similar way, it is describing about the license which we use it. What are the license which is being given to you? How much license are there? How much you used it? How much it is remaining? Similarly, permission set license also, right? Here comes to Identity Connect, Order Platform, Salesforce Control User. These are all active. What is the total license you can see here? How much we have used? What is the remaining? Similarly, future license also, right? In this window, in this page, it is going to help. It is going to discuss. It is going to discuss about what are the license that we have used it, right? Here it is. We are going to discuss about what are the license that we have used it, right? Now let us get into the demo, right? Now this is the page, right? Now this is the page which is nothing but a org, a production environment. Now what you do, you have to go to setup. So by default, already we are in the setup page. Or setup, then right hand side you have home. Under this you have something called quick find box. On this we have something called quick find box. So now here what I'm going to type, I'm going to type company settings. I'm going to type company settings. Under when I click on company settings or company information, right? Under company settings I have something called business hours. Under this I have calendar setting. So then I'm going to click on company information. When I click, I'm going to click on company information. Again, I'll tell you, I'll go to setup, right? Under setup, I'm going to have home, right? Under home, I have what is that? Quick find box. Under quick find box, I'm going to type company. So that I'm going to give a shortcut company. That the moment it's going to show the company settings here. Under company setting, you have an option called, you have a link called company information. When you click on company information, on the right hand side, you get the company detail here, right? In the detail, you have a button called edit button. You go to click on the edit button, right? It will take you to the edit page now, right? Organization page, you're going to edit here. So in the organization name, what is the name? In case you want to change anything, change here. Who is the primary contact, right? What is going to be a primary contact name, right? Then you're going to enter the city, street. These are all optional. If you want, you can enter all those details. Sales, state and provinces, zip code, all those information. Similarly, now you can see by default local setting is going to be United States. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it as English India. I'm going to change it as English India. So scroll down or go up, right? So you can see English India is available. I'm going to select it. Default language is going to be English. Similar way, default time zone, but now it is a default time zone. America, Los Angeles has been given. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to select India, Kolkata. See here, we have something called Indian Standard Time, ASIAN, Kolkata. After this, scroll down. Right, what is your currency? Right, I have given USD dollars by default. Let it be USD dollars. In case you want to change it, you can change it to your Indian standard currency also. Then scroll down. After once you given all these details, right? So in case you want to active, you want to make active multiple currency can active, right? Enable the data translation, right? In case you want to have a data translation also, you can make it active, right? After this, in case you want to hide the notice about system maintenance, that you can hide it. In case you want to hide about your system downtime, you can hide it. All those information you can select here, and after that, what you do, you're going to click on save button, right? So now I have set my company details here, right? I have set my company details. The moment you go and see the company details here, the organization name is going to be IWay Lab. Primary contact is going to be Ragdeep, right? And here the physical year starts with January here. That is your financial year starts from January, right? And the newsletters, admin newsletter, everything is in active now. Now your fax number, default locally, time zone, it is going to be India. Default language is going to be English, and default time zone which I have changed it to Asia and Kolkata. And current currency locally it is going to be USD, right? And what is the usage data space? Just now I told you about. Now you can see the usage data space here. Use the file space. How many file spaces? How much you can use it, right? So then API request, right? So these are the information which is there. Apart from that, you have something called Salesforce organization ID. What is our organization ID here? For this IWay Lab, the organization ID is going to be 00T5000004EK for you. This is the organization ID which is going to be 15-digit ID, right? And we have an organization edition. Which edition we are using? Developer edition we are using. And what is the instance? The instance, see, already I discussed about AP24, AP17, right? Which is called Asia Pacific, right? The instance, which instance we are using? Asia Pacific. Who has modified? This is the owner. Ragdeep is the owner. He has modified this information. He can modify, he can do anything, right? So he is the system administrator, who can do anything. All the information has been specified in the organization detail. Thereafter, the next section is nothing but user license. Just now I showed you, right? So it talks about the active license here. So now it comes to Salesforce license, but it is active. What is the status? Is active or not? What are the total license? We have 2 licenses. Out of which how many licenses have we used? 2 licenses have we used it. What is the remaining? Nothing. 0. So whereas coming to charter free license is active. Total license is 5,000. How many licenses have we used? 1. Remaining license 4,999. Similar coming to Salesforce platform license, it is active here. How many license you have? Total license 3. How many you have used? I have not used anything. What is the remaining? 3. So likewise, we have different users here, user license here, and you will come to know whether the status is active or not active or inactive, right? Then what is the total license? How much it has been used? How many it is remaining? Similar way, coming to permission set license also, same way. What are the permission set license here? We have so many license here, which is enabled or disabled. Here you come to know what is the total number of license, how much it is used, how many remaining are there. Similar way, the future license also. Right, it's going to give you the information about the future license, usage-based entitlement, right? All those information will be provided in the company information page. The company information page, you can see all these details now. Once you are done with this, once you set everything now, your company is ready, your company org is ready. So now, right? So for this, what you do, again I'll tell you, you have to go and click on the setup. Under setup, you have a quick find box. On the quick find box, you're going to enter the company. The moment you say, under this, you can see the company setting menu here. Under the company setting menu, you have a link called company information. You click this, it will take you to this page. Then you can go and click on the edit button, scroll up, go and click on the edit button, and then you can edit your page. Whatever information you want, you can add this information, right? This is what all the information which is available on the company information page, right? Which is nothing but the company profile, right? The next one is what we are going to discuss about the fiscal year. What is all about fiscal year? Fiscal year talks about the financial year. For some companies, the financial year starts from April to March. For some company or for some institution, it starts from January to December, right? So depends. So we are going to set our financial year and we are going to plan for our financial statements, right? You're going to prepare your financial statement. You're going to plan your statement for the business, right? So you're going to set all those information here. For which in Salesforce we have something called fiscal year. Using fiscal year, we're going to set our financial year and we're going to plan for our finance. Got it? So what is fiscal year? A fiscal year or financial year is a period of time used to calculate annual or physical financial statements in business and other organizations. So what is that? The fiscal year helps us to create what is the plan our or calculate our financial year or the financial statement. Who is going to set your fiscal year? The system administrator is going to set the fiscal year for this organization. The fiscal year settings are used to report on the fiscal year timeline. So you can see those fiscal year information on the fiscal year timeline, right? So now we are going to discuss about elaborately about the fiscal year. The fiscal year specifies the business year for your organization. So the fiscal year helps us to specify about the business year for your organization. Here in fiscal year, there are two types of fiscal year. What is going to be standard fiscal year? The other one is called custom fiscal year. Standard fiscal year will be created by the Salesforce, right? We are not going to do anything, right? So, but this standard fiscal year will be divided into 4 quarters. Each quarter will have 3 months, right? So 4 3s are 12 months, totally 12 months, right? Salesforce will internally manage and automate the revenue and forecast. So Salesforce will take care of the revenue and the forecast, right? Whereas when it comes to standard fiscal year, whereas coming to custom fiscal year, we are going to do everything, right? So once you enable the custom fiscal year, you cannot disable it, right? Once you enable it, you cannot able to disable it. It is not possible. It has 53 weeks here, week format and 12 months format, right? The example for fiscal year is going to be 4, 4, 5. Means that calendar divides a year into 4 quarters here. First 4 quarters, second 4 quarters, and then 5 remaining. The first 4 quarters will be 4 weeks, second 4 weeks, and then third one 5 weeks, right? So each quarter have 13 weeks, which are grouped into 4 weeks, month, and 5 week month. So here it is going to have each 4. First 4 represent 13 days, second 4 represent another 13, right? Remaining it. So totally how many weeks we have? 53 weeks here. It will be split in 53 weeks will be split into 4, 4, 5. Right? We're going to set such a way like that so that once when you enable the fiscal year, custom fiscal year, you have to plan accordingly and then you have to set your fiscal year. Otherwise, we cannot able to disable it. It's not possible. Right? You have to be very careful at the time of setting your custom fiscal year. Whereas coming to standard fiscal year, when you enable standard fiscal year, everything will be taken care of the Salesforce itself. You don't need to worry about it. Right? Now, how to set your fiscal year? In order to set your fiscal year, right, again, you have to go to setup, setting, company information, calendar setting, and then fiscal year. Or else, short form, what do you do? You click on setup, under setup, you have quick find box. There you type fiscal year. Under company information, under calendar setting, you can see the fiscal year link will be there. You can click onto that. So the moment if you click on the fiscal year, it will take you to this page. So this page contains, so what is that? It will ask you about the fiscal year. What is your starting month? Whether starting month, what is that? Whether it's going to be starting month or ending month. You're going to use the start month and the fiscal year is based on the ending month or starting month. That you're going to specify here. I'll go with the ending month and then click on save. So that the fiscal year will be saved here. Right? And then after that, you're going to give a pop-up message saying that your custom fiscal year cannot be undone and has an impact on the forecasting and then reports and quotas. Please make sure you have reviewed the list of consultation while enabling your fiscal year. If you are prepared to maintain your own custom fiscal year and you are aware of the impacts on your organization, click OK. Otherwise, click cancel. If you have set everything, if you have planned everything, then what you do? you can click on OK button, otherwise you can click on cancel, so that gets cancelled, right? So, but here you can see there are two types of physical year. One is going to be standard physical year, and the other one is called custom physical year. When I click on custom physical year, so then once I click on custom physical year, then I can, if I enable it, I cannot come back, I cannot disable it, it's not possible. You have to be very careful at time of enabling your custom physical year, right? So now how to define the custom physical year? Again, go to the setup, setting, company settings, calendar settings and physical year. Click on the new button, it will open the custom physical year template window to set up a new custom physical year. Again here, go back here, you're going to set up the, click on the custom physical year, and then what you do, right here you have to enable. After you enable it, what happens? So then it is going to open the custom physical year template here, right? It will be like this. So the custom physical template will be shown here. From there, which option you wanted, either you want to go with 445 or 454 or 544. This is going to be 4 quarters per year, 13 weeks per quarter. Each quarter will have 13 weeks. Similarly, we have 13 period per year, 4 weeks per period. Right? Such case, which option you wanted, you can select it. Otherwise, directly you can go and select the Gregorian calendar. Again, it is going to be standard Gregorian calendar me. So it is going to be Salesforce standard physical year setup here. So that it can cover. When you select this, automatically what happens? Salesforce is going to take care of, right? But whereas the remaining thing, when you select, you should be what is it? You are going to plan accordingly. Got it? After you do this, then you're going to click on continue button. So now your physical year is being set. This is how the physical year will be shown here. After showing the physical year, right? So that you have planned your physical, that is your planned your financial year. Now get into a demo now. Now again go back to my R. Now this is my R. Again I'll go to setup. Under setup I'm going to click on home. Under home I have this quick find box. On the quick find box I'm going to type a physical year. So see here, the moment under company setting, we have an option called physical year. I'll click on physical year. When I click on physical year, right, it takes me to the physical year page here, setup page here for the company called Highway Labs. Under this, we have two types of physical year. One is going to be standard physical year, the other one is called custom physical year. For standard, my default standard physical year has been selected here. On the right hand side, you can see the change in physical year period. So what is that? By default is January. Suppose you want to change it to April. You can select April. And what is that? The physical year is based on the ending month or the starting month. Whichever you want, you can select it. You can go to save it. Right? Once you save, the standard physical year will be saved here. Will be created. And who is going to take care of the financial forecasting, everything? The Salesforce itself will take care of the financial forecasting. Whereas coming to custom physical year, you have to be very careful. Right, that case you have to select the option here. Yes, I understand the implication the custom physical year future has on my organization. I want to be enabled. Then you have to enable the physical year. Once you enable it, you cannot disable it. It's not possible. So I'm not touching this part again. Right. Again, that case, if I enable this, then what happens? It will take you and again it will show you the template here. From the template, you're going to select the 13 weeks or 3 weeks option. There you're going to select 4, 4, 3 means that so 13 weeks each and every 4 contains 13 weeks and remaining weeks out of 53 weeks. First 4 will have 13 weeks, second 4 will have 13 weeks, and then remaining weeks will be available. So it will be split here based on that your financial information will be set, your financial year will be set, so that right. So based on that you can plan your finance to the company. Right, about your profit and how much you're going to earn, like this year, what is going to be your returns, or all those information can plan with the help of physical year. Right, this is what we're going to do with the physical year here. Now the next topic is that we're going to discuss about the business hour, and we're going to discuss about the business hour. Right. So what is all about business hour? So business hour sets the time zone, the working days, the number of hours daily. So each and every organization will have a business hour. It goes with, say for example, so my company starts by 9 o'clock and ends by 8 o'clock in the evening. So that I can set all my timing here. What is my business hour? So can have multiple business hours for different teams. If at all my company has a different teams here, each and every team, one team will be working on the UK business, right? So based on that, I'm going to set the UK business here. One team will be working on the German business, German project. So that I am going to select the German project type there. Accordingly, I am going to set my business. In order to set your business, again you have to go to setup, right? Under quick win box, you're going to type the business hours. So that it's going to show the business hours like this. So there, when you have to click a button called new business hour, and you're going to specify the business detail here, right? And you're going to specify the business detail. Again, we'll go back to the demo now. Now go to the setup. Under setup, you what you do? You're going to enter business here, business hours. So type business. See here, the moment under company setting, you have business hours here. Click your business hour, and then you're going to by default you have a default business hour here. Right now, click on new business hour. Right, and you have to give the business name. IVA Labs business hours. Right. What is the time zone? My time zone is going to be based on Kolkata. Right. What is my Greenwich Mean Time? Kolkata. See here, I have Kolkata. I'm going to select this. And the first step is that you're going to enter the business hour name, right? And you have to make it active, right? But then second step, what is that? Time zone, you're going to change the time zone here. And third step, what you are going to do? You're going to specify your business hour. On Sunday, what is your business hour? Morning, right? In case you want to enable, you want to change it, you can disable this and you can go and change it here, right? For example, you're going to have from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. right? So instead of this, I'm going to say 12 p.m. Then enable it, right? So when I enable, it's going to be like this. But in case I want to change it, I'm going to say 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Right? Similar way, you're going to change all the details and then you're going to click on save button. On Sunday, it is going to be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Remaining days, you're going to set accordingly, right? So that see here, my business, IVA business hours have got to be set. In case you want to edit, you can click on edit and then you can go and change the business hour here. Again, from Monday to Friday, I'm going to change it. Again, I'm going to open this, and I'll say it is going to be 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Likewise for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday also I'm going to set, and then I'm going to click on save button. Right? Now my business hour has been set here. So similar way, now we'll get into next topic, going to be holidays. We have to set up our holidays. Now say for example, the next month we are going to have a what is that? We'll have a holiday. One day, one particular one day. One is going to be that day. It is going to be Shivaratri. For Shivaratri, if the company gives holiday, you can specify likewise what all the holidays are there. Those information you can register here in the holidays, company holidays. So you can set the holidays that your business will be off in, can have multiple holidays. Holidays can be associated with 0 or more business hours. Business hour holidays that impact when case escalation rules are triggered. So when this business hours will get impact when the case escalation rule is triggered, that time the business hours will have an impact, right? Again, if I want to show the demo, right? Again, what is it? We'll take you to this holiday detail here, and you're going to specify your holiday detail here when it is going to be available, right? Available hours. Then you're going to select all this information. Then you're going to click on save button, right? You're going to edit your holidays information here, right? You're going to click on holidays information here. So for this detail, you're going to give it on the holiday information here. Now I'll go for the demo here. Again, you go for the setup under the quick find box. You're going to enter holidays now. Holidays. Like click on holidays now. We'll take you to the holiday page here. Now you click on new button, right? And then you're going to set your holiday name, right? IVA Labs holidays. Right? And description, date here. What is the time zone from time zone, right? What is the time from and to time you're going to say? And go to holidays are going to continue, right? So that you can select recurring and then click on save, right? So once you save it here, right? So that your holiday will be set here, right? And now in case you want to have on this particular holiday hours, what is your business hour? You can add a business hour here, right? So what is the business hour? You can select add your iWay Lab business hour here, right? And then save it here. So that if it is going to be a holiday, then you're going to specify it as 0, right? So again, in case you want to edit, you can click on edit here, and you're going to specify from which time, right? All the day you're going holiday, or what is the time? On particular day, what is the description? Now I'm going to say Sivaratri. Say for example, on which day the Sivaratri comes, right? It's going to be on, say for example, on the March 10th, I believe. March 10th, right? This from this time to this time it is going to be holiday. Or throughout all the day it is going to be holiday, right? And then it is going to be recurring holiday. In case it's going to recurring continue, and you can select it and then you're going to save it. Like that, whatever holidays on the particular day is there, you're going to specify what is that particular holiday here, right? So that what is it? Either you're going to have half a day you're going to work, or full day you're going to give a holiday. All this information you're going to specify in the holidays option here. Got it? So this company holidays can be the government holidays, company holidays can be registered in the holiday information, holiday detail page. Right? Next one is language setting. It comes to language setting. What are the language you want you are going to use, your company is going to use? Where can add or remove language from the available languages. It determines which language can be selected. You can enable end user language and platform only languages. It talks about the language. You're going to set all your languages here. You go to language setting, and what are the language which your company is going to use it, that you can specify all the language details here, right? So thing is that you're going to set your languages here. Again, I'll go to the domain page, that is, I'll go to the org now. So under the setup, under financial, under the quick find box, I'm going to type language setting. So now language. See, now when I say land, I'm getting language here, language setting. Click on the language setting. Now, what are the languages you wanted? So, whichever you don't want it, you can remove, you can select and remove it here. Whichever language you wanted, you can enable here. Then enable your platform only language here, right? And then you can select whichever language you wanted. If you doesn't want it, you can push here, right? So, whatever language you want, you can select it and then you click on save button. Then what happens? The language will be set here, right? Based on the company rules and regulations, you're going to set your language. Got it? So, then the next one is that we're going to discuss about domain management. What is domain management? Domain management is nothing but you're going to define your org domain, custom Salesforce domain here. Your domain name lets you highlight your brand and make your org more secure. So it is, when you define your domain, it's going to be more secure. By having a domain, you will be able to log in by using your own custom domain. But now what do? You try to log into login.salesforce.com. So when you try to log into login.salesforce.com also, you'll try to redirect your domain. Through the domain, you're going to log in, right? So like what is the example? The example is going to be myconf.my.salesforce.com. So you're going to create a domain, and then instead of logging in using a login.salesforce.com, you're going to log in using your domain here, right? How do we set up a domain? Again, what we do, we have to go to the domain management, and from the setup and the quick find box, you're going to enter the domain management. We'll take you to this page, and you're going to set your domain, right? You're going to use the domain here. So what is your domain? You're going to specify under HTTP here. You're going to specify the domain, right? And then you're going to check for the availability. You're going to agree the terms and conditions. You're going to register. After register, right? The domain is going to be set here, right? You're going to, it's going to be wizard like one by one. You're going to do, but the first step is going to register your domain. After you have set your domain, the second step is that once you click on register domain, the registration will be pending, right? The registration is going to be pending now, right? So that takes some time to register, right? Then once it is registered, you will receive a mail, right? So based on that, what is that? Your domain is ready, right? And you can deploy it. So that once you deploy, right, then your domain is ready. Whenever you try to log in, you try to log in only through your domain, right? Automatically it will be redirected to the domain. Through the domain, you try to connect with your org, right? This is what we are going to do with the domain management, right? And the new domain is ready for testing now. So now click here to log in, right? To test your new domain, you will log in the existing username and password, but on the new domain. So this is the first login. You should verify your mobile and phone number, right? So as I told you that you want to test it, right? For testing, you're going to click here to the login, right? So there is a button here called click here to login. You have to click here. So what after you click here, it will take you to the login page, right? Through the domain, you're going to enter the username and password. So if this is going to be first time, then it is going to ask you to verify by entering your mobile phone number. That is your country detail and mobile phone number, and then your code will be sent to your mobile, and then you're going to enter that code, and based on that, you're going to be verified, and then it will try to take you to the organization page or the production environment, right? This is how you're going to set up a domain, right? So likewise, you're going to register. After this register, then finally you're going to click on OK button. Finally, it will take you to the org now, right? And finally, what happens once deployed, the user can log in using the new domain. Once the new domain deployed to the user, he cannot reverse it. Once it is deployed, he cannot able to reverse it. Only the Salesforce support can change it afterwards. With everything, whatever you want to change, right? Only with the help of Salesforce, only you can be able to do certain changes here, even with the domain also. Once you create a domain, once it is deployed, you cannot able to reverse it. So that case, you want to reverse it, you want to change it, then you have to take a support, right? Salesforce support, Salesforce administration support, and then only can able to change it. Got it? So this is all about domain setting, right? Finally, now your domain management is being set here, right? So then what happened? Based on that, you can able to log in, right? Now again, you go back to the demo. Now again, under setup, you're going to have domain management. Under quick find box, what do? You're going to type domain here, right? You click on my domain. See now, it will go with the step now, one by one. This is called domain management, right? So scroll down now. So here already my domain name is set here. What is my domain here? By default is set. So this is iWayLabs 19dev ed mysalesforce.com. Already it is been set. So in case you want to edit, you click on edit button, right? Now and then in case you want to change it, right? So it is saying that there is an option here, prevent login from http.login.salesforce.com. If you want to prevent, you can enable this. Otherwise, what happens? You enable, it will not go to login.salesforce.com. And directly it will show this, it will redirect, right? So don't, otherwise you say don't redirect to this page, it will not redirect. Right? After this, now see here, then you're going to click on save button. Right? Once you save here, right? And then it is going to try to what is that? Because already I've done it here, so that since I've done already, so directly it is taking, otherwise it will ask you what is your domain name. You're going to give the domain name and then you're going to test it whether the domain is available. If it is not available, you're going to change the domain name and then you're going to set it. After domain registration is over, then it is going to be pending the background, the processing will happen. Once it is done, it is going to send the, you're going to send a mail. Once the mail is sent, then you're going to test for your domain, right? You're going to test it. So again, what you do for testing, you take it to some other page, and then there you have to check for the login button will be there. You have to click on that. You're going to enter the username and password, and you're going to set it. Finally, the domain will be deployed. So once when you refresh here 3 times, 4 times, and you refresh, so automatically domain will be deployed. Right? No need to wait until you you receive a mail. Right? The moment 2 to 3 times, if you refresh, automatically domain will be set here. It will be deployed. Then now you can able to what is that login to the domain. So this is what you're going to do with the domain here, right? So these are the information that you're going to do with domain setting, right? Next one is nothing but Salesforce technical term. So in the Salesforce technical term, what is that? This is what we have a content. Inside the container, we have an object. So here in Salesforce, we call it an object. Traditional database, we call it as a table. A table is equal to an object. The object, now see here, this is student is an object, right? Which contains list of columns is called as fields here. Like name, phone number, email, age is called as a field. Similarly, we have one more object called employee. Employee goes with lot of fields here, that is called name, experience, salary, city, right? So now this object, right, when I click onto this button, it is being enabled with a button, right? The user is going to click onto the button, or on which button it is going to select the student object. So the student, when I click on this button, what happens? The user interface page will be displayed here, which contains name, phone number, email, and age. Got it? So here this we have we are able to connect this object to a tab here. So we have something called tab. On the tab, we can see all the objects will be displayed. You're going to click on the tab, you're going to click on the object which is going to show this page here. And then you're going to enter and then you're going to say, but who is going to do? That is the end user is going to do this, right? So here we are discussing about the different types of technical terms we have discussed now. We have discussed about object, we have discussed about tab, discussed about fields, we discussed about your user interface and all those things. Now coming to type of license. What are license we have? We have something called classic license and then lightning. We will discuss elaborately about license lightning here, right? We don't discuss about classic here because Salesforce gives support only for lightning because look and feel and other options will be rich here in lightning, right? So we are going to discuss about lightning here. And what are the technical terms? Just now I told you. I discussed about object. What is an object? It's a regular database we call objects and we store the data into it. Inside the object, we are going to store the data here. But in Salesforce, we call it as an object. What is tab? It is an interface between the user and the application, right? And then what is fields? Fields are nothing but the columns, as I already told you. In traditional database, it is called as column, but in Salesforce, we call it as a fields here. Got it? So, folks, please subscribe to our channel. So, if you are interested to learn Salesforce, please look into this video tutorial. Try to learn your Salesforce so that once you learn the Salesforce here, you're getting ready for your certification exam. Please subscribe, click on your bell icon, click on the like button. In case you have any doubts, you can call me 8550799168 or you can send a mail to info.iwaylabs@gmail.com. Please requesting you to subscribe to my channel. So once again, I'll request you to subscribe to our channel. In case you want to have 1:1 training, you can contact in my phone number 8550799168 or 8142000037. Right? So click on your bell icon, click on your like button, click on your subscription so that every time when I load this tutorials, right, you will get a notification. You can learn your Salesforce training. You can get trained and then you can get ready for certificate. So bye bye. Please stay tuned until I come back with the next video.